the day I was born, it was always hard times, welfare, not much food, no money, crime-infested neighborhoods, murders, pimps, prostitutes, drugs, and it was survival of the fittest. And I had an older brother who was 5 years older than me, so he didn't spend much time around the house. He was in the programs. He was very smart and intelligent. He was the special kid on the block that was always in school. And me and my sister got caught up in the street life. So I was bullied a lot as a kid. I used to have pigeons, and one particular time some bully grabbed one of my pigeons and ripped his head off, and that was the first time I ever got into a fight. And I kind of like won. I was young, like 9, but I kind of like won. And so after that, older kids would bring other kids from different neighborhoods around my neighborhood, and they would pay us to fight each other, and that's how I started fighting. I probably had, in my life I probably had 400 fights.
How many?
400. I come from that kind of world where everything was dog eat dog. If you had money, if you had jewelry, and if you couldn't defend your stuff or protect it, you were getting took and you were going to get killed. And all my life I've seen murders and robberies, and I became a part of that. And I took the choice to become a part of it because when you think about it, I have a brother who's like one of the top trauma surgeons in the country. I had a sister that was a teacher before she passed. And so I come from a very educated background. I never passed the 9th grade because I was just so entrenched into the street world. I was just really allured to that. That was really what I wanted to be because you saw instant gratification as far as respect was concerned in the street world. I didn't have much patience, and that's what I wanted. So I started getting involved with crime at a young age. My first arrest, I guess I was 10 years old, my first arrest. Pickpocket, jostling. And so when I went to the institution, I realized I'm in this form. All my friends are here. Everybody that saw me in the streets, pickpocketing other guys from different boroughs, and I got addicted to it even more. So I wasn't afraid to go to jail anymore. And so I became a more advanced criminal, so to speak. I got introduced to a gentleman by the name of Bobby Student. He started teaching me how to box because I thought I was a tough guy. I didn't know anything about being a tough guy, but I thought I was. And so I went there, and it was so ironic. He didn't want me to go because I kept improving. I broke his nose, and he was a professional fighter, and I'm 12 years old. This was just such an opportunity. I met a gentleman by the name of Customado, an old Italian man. And when I went there, he talked to me. He talked to me for 2 weeks. He just talked to me. I thought he was a pervert because he was saying all these things that I'm beautiful and I can do this. But when I sparred, I was getting shellacked. So I knew there was no way that he would think that I was a good fighter. But he saw something that I still don't see what he saw to this day. I don't know how it worked. And he said that I was going to be champ, I was going to do all this stuff.
So your inspiration happened at 12 years old.
Yeah.
Then you meet Cus.
Yes.
How was Cus treating you? What happened for you to be loyal? What was his way of leading you?
Developing into character. And that's why I had a wonderful time with him, because everything about his life was about me. And so I never had a father, but I know what it's like to want to make a father happy. And so I wanted to be champion to make him happy. Cus knows when to put the gas on and when to put the brakes on. You know, that's what a teacher does. He's a teacher. We all teach everyone. All of us teach everyone. We're all teachers and students. This world is one big school, and we're the students of this world. So he knows the mind is always hungry. And the mind wants to do good, but we get so many negative thoughts in our mind, it's almost overwhelming to be positive.
When you were down, he built you up. Would you say it was like a timing thing with him?
No, it was no game. You know, there's so much power in humbleness. You know, when I'm promoting the fight, I say outrageous things and stuff, but I know the power of humbleness now.
How did you learn that?
I have to lose everything. You have to be the champion before you become the champion, so that means lifestyle. You have to be him before you become him. You gotta be him before you become him. You have to live his lifestyle.
The lifestyle of a champion.
Of the champion, you look at the champion. That's how it starts. You look at somebody, I wanna be like him. You don't say, hey, I'm a bad motherfucker. I wanna fight everybody out here and nobody's gonna kick my ass. You see somebody and say, hey, I might wanna do that. Cus over there telling me why should he have it? That's one thing I never had in my life, because I always got picked on, and
I never had jealousy or enviness about anything. And Cus possessed that, you know, and he was telling me, why should he have all that money and you don't? Why is he, why do you believe that he's better than you? Why do you think he should have all that money and you don't? And he was really serious about it. And that was the competition shit. That's it right there, he's breathing that stuff right in me. Why should he have it and he's not better than you?
He said how old he was, and I said he's 13. And then Cus said he's lying. He doesn't want to go to prison with the grown adults, so he said he was 13.
Wow.
And so Bobby Student, because everything Cus says is the Bible, and so he said, "Tell me the truth." After all these years, I've been there 2 years with him, and I said, "Tell me the truth. How old are you?" I said, "I'm 13. I'm 13." He says, "Tell me the truth." I said, "I'm 13." So he got my birth certificate. He found out I was 13. And then cussing those guys just automatically, I didn't even agree to it. They said, "This is what you're going to do. You're going to be heavyweight champ. You're going to win the Olympics. You're going to win the gold medal. You're going to do this. And you're going to become heavyweight champ. You're going to be this and that." And I didn't want him to think I was afraid. I started listening to this Italian guy, and he teaches me to fight. And I'm 14 years old. I win this national championship, then I won this junior national championship. I'm breaking record. I knock a guy out in 8 seconds. How did that happen? And he still told me I was imperfect. I was wrong. I was flawed. So I didn't know how that worked, and I just started listening to him. I said,
And at one point he even adopted you, didn't he?
Yeah, when I was 16, when my mother died.
Yeah.
My mother died of cancer.
Yeah. And so he adopted you, and he was your mother, your father, your mentor?
My psychiatrist, yeah, my therapist, he was everything. When I went back home, I was getting ready to do some more robberies, because every now and then I would go back to Brooklyn and do robberies and come back, because the state was paying them like $150 a month, and that wasn't even paying for my pants and my sneakers. So I always went back home and did robberies and came back with nice clothes and told them that my friends gave me these clothes because their older brother can't fit them anymore, something like that, some ridiculous story. And one day when we were going to do another robbery, a friend of mine was telling me, "No, you're with those white people, Mike. Stay with them. These people love you, Mike. I saw you win this champion. They love you." I became champion at 20 years old, the youngest champion ever. I won titles. I had everything in the world, but I still had that darkness in me. I had hundreds of millions. I had money, but I still had that darkness in me. That darkness wasn't out of me yet. And I got in a whole bunch of trouble. I got involved with people who had made me no good. And I lost a lot of money. I kept getting lawsuits. Lawsuits this, lawsuit here, lawsuit here. Now, most of my money I've tricked off on lawsuits. If I spend $250 million on girls and trips and clothes, that's nothing to what I did on lawsuits. And so I started going through this process of I'm clean. So I get clean for a year. I get clean for 5 years, but then I relapse. And the reason why I relapsed is because I didn't have a spiritual awakening. I just wasn't using drugs. You know, I wasn't sober. I just wasn't using drugs and liquor. I just wasn't using, I was miserable, right? So eventually I received that spiritual awakening. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm just trying to get this stuff on track. And I'm sober. By being sober, I'm able to show up for my children. And I'm just very grateful that my kids are able to go to these schools. And sometimes they tease me because I don't spell as well as they spell. And I'm not advanced scholastically as well as they are. But I'm just happy that I'm able to put them in that position. I chose I was going to be different. I wasn't going to live that life anymore. And I was going to be the person I wanted to be. And everything I was doing in my past life, I was champ, I had money, that prevented me from being the man that I wanted to be. And I could pretty much say I'm on the course of being the person I want to be. I have dignity, I have self-respect, and anybody can just look at me and see what I'm doing.
Walking into the ring, you ever get scared?
To death.
Really?
Yeah.
You never look scared?
Well, that's the whole thing. Boxing is like acting. You always project what you don't feel on someone else. But I found out that as I got older, I found out they're more scared of me than I am of them. I don't care what people think about me.
No?
No way. If I did that, I wouldn't be, I guess, successful. I thrive off that. It's hard for me to even excel if somebody doesn't dislike me or hate me. I need it to excel.
So your legacy is whatever it is, but
just,
it's honesty.
Never being discouraged more than anything, more than honesty, because I still lie sometimes if I want something. And it's just never getting discouraged, never giving up. Even if I'm lying, I know one day I'm gonna die, and whatever I said don't mean shit. Impossible is nothing to somebody who tries. Success for me is not cheating on my wife. Success for me is being responsible and being present. That's success for me.
Arrested 38 times by age 13, heavyweight champion of the world by 20, convicted of rape by age 30. You've lived so many lives.
Yeah, that's true. And there's people that had worse. And in spite of, they still succeeded. So I'm nobody. I've been a millionaire most of my life. I'm good. I learned gratitude. This is what I learned from life kicking my ass. I learned gratitude. Things happen when two men get in the ring and we throw punches.
What happens?
Well, it's an unwritten clause in our contract that anytime during training and fighting, you can die. That's a great possibility that we wish don't happen, we hope don't happen. You can't continue being a comedian if you're not sharpening your psyche up. Even when you're doing it right here, you're practicing your comedian act, you know. You have to continue to practice. The more you practice it, they say if you practice it for a year, you'll be better if you only practice it for a month. So the more you do it, the better you become. And it's not about money, because the money's gonna be in charity and people gonna, and it's just about doing something good. And that, from that perspective, that could be, I used to like feeling like I'm doing something good for somebody more than myself. I won't have in my mind, oh, I'm getting paid. I used to want to never have that in my mind again.
Yeah.
I just never want to have, oh, I'm getting something for what I'm doing. I don't know what the future holds, but we're looking forward to just having fun and doing it for a purpose, a reason.
When you decided to stop, was it difficult?
Well, time will make you that person.
Time will.
Yeah, time will make you that person. What is time? I don't know.
Right.
As I got older in life, I really saw I had to deal with demons with that. So I was that kind of person that really my objective was just to hurt people as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know, not just beat them, but just to really hurt them, so they never forget me. And that was just my goal. That's what I learned from Cuts. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
And he didn't have much time to teach me because he died shortly. He only had 7 to 6 years to be, you know what I mean, to teach me anything. So what he had to teach me was fighting.
Yeah.
I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful. I had a good life, and people liked me, and people gave me benefits and stuff. But that's not going to happen to the average guy. That's not going to happen. You know what's going to happen to him when he gets angry and he throws a tantrum like I throw my tantrum? They're going to come in the cell and they're going to beat him to death. You know, the goon squad's coming, they're going to beat him to death. I don't know, I'm capable of living a godly life. God to me is inconceivable to live a life of God. You know, we can only study his life and hope to be able to be in the path of God. But to live godly life is inconceivable to me. I just try to do the right thing. You know what I mean? And not necessarily the right thing is probably the best thing, but I just try to do the right thing. I try to respect everybody and treat everybody the way I want to be treated. You know, I don't have no, I don't care what you're black, white, Christian, I don't care what you are. You know, the only thing I want is respect, because I give respect. That's the only reason why I want it. I just realized that I wanted to change my life. I didn't like the way I was living my life. I wanted a different, I just wanted a better way of life. You know, I just didn't want to be the guy that had it all outside but had nothing inside. And I realized all this recovery and sober thing and life in general is an inside job. You know, if you're looking for happiness from out here, it's going to be disastrous. It's all an inside job. You know, it's all an inside job. You know, all we know about God is what people tell us about God. What our mothers or fathers, what they tell us about God. We have people starving out here. You know, and they have no other choice but to commit crimes, else they're going to starve to death or have no dignity, and their wife might leave them out of shame, or the kids might not have respect for them, and we need some action and work has to be done.